Hello everybody, I am Dr. Alan Craig with the Ascent Hearing Center. Thank you very much for logging into our very first video blog. I wanted to talk just a few minutes about severity of hearing loss because it's one of the very common questions that we get when we test someone. And when we do a hearing evaluation on you, there is a universally accepted scale for severity of hearing loss, so we can tell you if your hearing loss is moderate or severe or mild or things like that. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, how much information that really gives us, but it is a place to start, to be sure. There is also an evaluation of your speech understanding ability, which gives us another piece of the puzzle, and that is calculated in a percentage. Very often we see people that ask us for the percentage of their hearing loss, for example, and there is not a universally accepted scale for percentage of hearing loss. If we can't tell you, for example, that you have a 50 or a 60% hearing loss, but sometimes people will hear that they had 70% speech understanding ability, and maybe they interpret that as 70% hearing loss. All of those things are helpful and they are pieces of the puzzle, but for us, and for me in particular, the most important thing in determining the severity of hearing loss is in finding out how the hearing loss is affecting an individual and the people around them in their actual day-to-day lives, because that gives us a much better picture of, is it time to do something about the hearing loss? And secondly, if so, how exactly would we go about that? What would we need to do to address those specific issues that you and the people around you are having? I have a sort of a two-step approach to that. I categorize the problems that people have in their day-to-day life into what I call quantity problems, simply meaning how many times on a typical day are you or the people around you aware that your hearing is no longer as good as it once was? How many times do you ask people to repeat, or how often do people say something about the television being too loud, or whatever your particular problems are? The second category I call quality category, and we look at the specific things that you are having difficulty with, and we look at how important those things are. So for example, when we fit somebody with hearing aids to help them with their hearing problems, it is not unusual that they come back and tell us that they heard the birds sing for the first time in many, many years. And we're very happy about that, and that's very exciting. But that is not something that is a significant contributor to quality of life. You could live another 50, 60, 70 years and not hear the birds sing, and it would not impact your quality of life in a major way. But when someone is having difficulty communicating with family members, or if TV is a big part of a person's life, and they are not able to hear or understand their favorite television shows, or even the news, or the weather, when the weather is severe in particular. If people can't hear their preacher or their Sunday school teacher, things that are very valuable and do contribute significantly to our quality of life. And we take those things, and that helps us to better determine, regardless of what the exact severity of the hearing loss is, whether or not it is time for somebody to take that step and to do something about their hearing loss, and it gives us very valuable information as to exactly how we should go about it so that we are specifically addressing the problems that that person is having. So, for example, if we see a patient that is having difficulty communicating on the telephone and they have a family member, a sister maybe, that lives far away and they like to talk on the phone quite a bit, we want to make sure that we go about addressing their hearing loss in a way that is going to make it possible for them to communicate on the telephone as easily as possible, obviously, because that's something that is very, very important to them. And so we will certainly tell you how severe your hearing loss is and how you did on the understanding testing. But when it all comes down to it, it is much more valuable and much more helpful for us to have a conversation with you. And certainly if you're able to bring a significant other, a family member, or a close friend that you communicate with on a regular basis, and to get a better picture of what is the next appropriate step for you and how we can go about that to help you to hear better and to have a better quality of life because of it. So thank you again for checking in with our first video blog. If you would like any more information about us, you can reach us at www.hearingaidsjonesboro.com. If you have any questions about anything, or if you have ideas that you perhaps would like me to answer, questions or concerns or issues about hearing loss, hearing aids, anything in those areas, feel free to send us an email to info@hearingaidsjonesboro.com, and we will be more than happy to do our best to answer those questions for you. Or perhaps if we have a topic that comes up regularly, maybe it'll be the subject of our next video blog. Thanks again for stopping by, and please feel free to reach out if we can answer any questions, or certainly if you would like to make an appointment so that we can see what the status of your hearing is and see if there's something that we can do to help you to hear and live better. Have a great day. Thanks so much.